Fox 61 News at 6 starts now.
Right now at 6, calls for lawmakers to address skyrocketing energy rates.
We can send letters, we can call just like any resident or any citizen can, but right now, actual members of the General Assembly don't have the power for electrical rates.
Newly proposed legislation looks to give leaders more control over future price hikes.
Plus, 5 officers charged in the Randy Cox case enter a plea. What happened in court today and an update on his condition.
And travel troubles. Airlines slowly resuming flights after a nationwide disruption grounded thousands of planes.
It's very worrisome that one system can stop the nation's aviation travel on a single day.
The impact felt right here in Connecticut.
Plus, Representative Quentin Williams takes one final ride to the Capitol.
A friend has been lost. A husband will be missed. And collectively, we grieve the absence of our dear brother.
The community coming out to pay their respects. The Fox 61 News at 6 starts now.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us here on the News at 6. I'm Ben Goldman.
And I'm Jen Bernstein. On the Fox 61 News at 5, we told you about some of the resources available if you are struggling to pay your utility bills.
Now, this hour, we'd like to tell you about some of the solutions being considered to stop rates from rising higher in the future. Fox 61's Matt Caron joining us live from the Capitol with that story tonight. Matt?
Well, guys, the legislative session just got underway. Very few bills have actually been written yet, but certainly a lot of concepts are swirling around, including one that would give lawmakers more authority and oversight when it comes to future electric rate increases. Unless you switch suppliers.
Look at month to month what the other offerings are out there.
Your electric bills just went up by about $80 a month.
It's outrageous. We don't need this.
But we hear your concerns.
Lawmakers may hear you, but they can't do anything about it, at least not now.
We can send letters, we can call just like any resident or any citizen can, but right now, actual members of the General Assembly don't have the power for electrical rates.
State Representative Christine Conley introduced House Bill 5013, which would give lawmakers final approval or veto power over rate changes.
And it's been a little bit popular, so that's good. It's resonating with people.
But the legislation doesn't specify whether the intent is to regulate the supply or delivery side of your bill. The state currently only has authority to impact delivery.
And we're all searching for solutions together.
As Consumer Counsel, Claire Coleman's office advocates for ratepayers. She applauds lawmakers for thinking about solutions, but worries that an extra layer of political regulation on an already highly scrutinized process could be cumbersome.
Having sort of a veto authority over rate setting does concern me. We're in a part-time legislative cycle. These are year-round responsibilities.
So Senator Norm Needleman, who's the chair of the General Assembly's Energy Committee, says really all options are on the table when it comes to reform, including a possible rollback of the regulation, or the deregulations rather, that were put into place here in the state back in the year 2000. The Energy Committee gave lawmakers until Friday at noon to submit all of their proposals and possible solutions on how to deal with this rate crisis before they start sifting through all of them. We will, of course, stay on top of the story. We're live here from inside the state capitol in Hartford. Matt Caron, Fox 61 News.
Matt, thank you. We are following breaking news, a shooting investigation going on in East Hartford. Fox 61's Brent Harden joining us now in the Breaking News Center this evening with the latest. Brent?
Yeah, Ben, thank you. Police say this victim was shot in the chest. Let's take a look at the scene now. You can see a police presence. It's happening at 79 Lafayette Avenue. We know the victim has been taken to a hospital. Police say one person has been taken into custody as well, and no one else has been hurt. Police say this was an isolated incident. There is no danger to the public at this time. Right now, we don't know what led up to the shooting. The investigation is still very active. We have a crew on the scene working to get more information. And as we learn more, we will bring you updates live on air and online. In the Breaking News Center now, Brent Harden. Back to you, Ben and Jen.
All right, Brent, thank you very much. All 5 New Haven police officers charged in connection to the man paralyzed while in their custody appeared in court today. Randy Cox hasn't been able to move a muscle from the chest down since June 19th. Fox 61's New Haven County Bureau reporter Julia LeBlanc has an update.
All 5 New Haven police officers pleaded not guilty to the misdemeanor charges they're facing, and the court appearance happened almost in the blink of an eye.
Please identify themselves for the record, please.
5 New Haven police officers standing in front of a judge, pleading not guilty to reckless endangerment and cruelty charges.
This is a full appearance, Attorney Ford? Yes, it is, Your Honor.
The officers are all out on bond, still on paid administrative leave. Officers Oscar Diaz, Jocelyn Lavendier, Ronald Presley, Louis Rivera, and Sergeant Betsy Segui were charged back in November. This after Randy Cox, who was under their care, became paralyzed on June 19th.
I can't feel it.
Cox was in the back of a police van without a seatbelt when the officer driving stopped short, sending him sliding into the van's back doors. Court documents and body cameras show the officers then dragging him, placing him in a cell, and not providing the proper care.
His spirits are generally good considering the circumstances. He is disappointed that the police officers were only charged with misdemeanors.
Jack O'Donnell sees his client on a weekly basis. He says he can't move anything from the neck down, unable to do anything for himself. While outside of the courthouse, we tried to catch up with the officers. Anything you guys would like to say to us? While this criminal case continues, there's also a civil lawsuit where Cox's attorneys are asking the city for $100 million. Last month, settlement talks began.
This is the start of the conversation, but I think what's most important is that we have now a schedule set and have engaged the courts to start that conversation.
Now, all 5 police officers will face a judge virtually on February 23rd. Now, in the meantime, we're also hearing from attorney Ben Crump, a national civil rights attorney that also represents Cox in this case, sending out a strong statement saying, in part, quote, "It is absolutely shameful that these officers failed to see how their actions led to the trauma and severe injury that caused Randy Cox to be paralyzed from the chest down. Since these 5 officers failed to take accountability for their actions, they will now have to face a trial where the prosecution will present the significant evidence against their claims of no guilt." Now, in the meantime, there's also an internal affairs investigation led by the police department to see if the officers need to be disciplined further. We're in New Haven. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61 News.
All right, Julia, thank you very much. Let's take a look at the forecast right now. Dry today, but we do have changes on the way.
Chief Meteorologist Rachel Frank joining us here in the Weather Watch Center. Hi, Rach.
Hi, guys. Yeah, a whole lot of rain on the way heading into tomorrow night and right into Friday morning. A solid bet that we get about an inch of rainfall, and some towns might be able to pick up an inch and a half. Temperatures right now are right around the 30-degree mark, give or take a few degrees in either direction. Quiet out there at the moment, but we actually could see a scattered rain or snow shower by daybreak, just as a little appetizer out ahead of the main event. Low temperatures tonight dropping back into the 20s, and early tomorrow there's just enough moisture in the air that there could be a bit of patchy black ice. So check in with the morning show in case that ends up happening, especially for untreated surfaces. Otherwise, there's that chance for a scattered rain or a snow shower, just rain showers towards the shoreline and for much of southern Connecticut. And as temperatures rise, it's just scattered rain showers during the day, most of which will be light in nature. But again, later tomorrow night, it starts to pour. We're also talking about gusty winds, temperatures soaring into the 50s, and maybe even a rumble of thunder by early Friday morning. We'll walk you through it and the changes for the weekend coming up in just a bit.
Hundreds gathered at the state capitol today to remember Representative Quentin Q. Williams.
Williams died last week after his car was hit by a wrong-way driver on Route 9 in Cromwell, just a few hours after that new legislative session gavelled in. Fox 61's political reporter Emma Wolfhorst joins us live from the Capitol. She spoke to people at today's vigil. Emma.
Jen, Ben, good evening. This was the final ride for Representative Quentin Williams, a motorcade carrying his body one last time from his home in Middletown here to the state capitol this afternoon. His family wanting to honor Williams and his life of service, both to his home community and to the state. A moment of silence, 3 minutes long, to represent 3 terms in office.
A friend has been lost, a husband will be missed, and collectively we grieve the absence of our dear brother.
Representative Quentin Q. Williams, just 39 years old, died in a car crash last week, hit and killed by a wrong-way driver on his way home from Governor Ned Lamont's inaugural ball in Hartford.
There's an opportunity for, for Representative Williams to take one, final ride by the state capitol and offer opportunity as well for the Capitol family to pay their respects to his family and to him personally.
That Capitol family paying respects and grieving the loss of who they call an extraordinary legislator and friend.
Q was beloved, across the aisle. He was a larger-than-life figure, so it makes total sense that people would want to be here.
He was a light that shined in a dark room.
A light friends and colleagues hope won't go out.
He really cared about education, about the people of Middletown, about people all over the state who are struggling, and so hopefully those issues that he cared about will also continue and animate us as we go forward.
Let his memory fill us with the passion to pursue justice. Let his legacy inspire us to create a more equitable future, and let his work carry on through our hands.
And the 2023 legislative session getting off to a late start in wake of this tragedy. The Capitol complex back open this week. It was closed at the end of last week in honor of Q, but lawmakers tell me they're still taking things slowly this week, easing back into work. They tell me this will be a healing process. Live at the Capitol, Emma Wolforst, Fox 61 News.
That's going to take some time, Emma. Thank you. Well, today, Alex Jones's lawyer, Norm Pattis, lost his appeal to win back his law license after it was suspended for sharing confidential medical files with Texas lawyers involved in Jones's case. Pattis had asked for a postponement in order to continue as part of the defense team for 5 members of the Proud Boys organization charged in the riot at the U.S. Capitol. His license will be suspended for 6 months.
The family of a 24-year-old man shot to death in an unsolved Hartford case are now renewing their calls for justice and a reward increase from $100,000 to $500,000. Eros Diaz was shot and killed back in June of 2019. His family hopes the reward will be the push needed for a witness to get in contact with police.
We thank all the Diaz families that we have been able to put together this reward, and we know that it's a big step for someone, so we're giving them that opportunity to step forward and they can have a new life.
The announcement took place on what would be Diaz's 28th birthday.